Hello everyone! It has been a while. Well, guess what? You guys no longer have to wait anymore until the next video. Then I'm gonna make you wait again. Today is a different type of video because I want to talk about an indie horror game that's been in development since 2012. Yes, this game has been around since the Unreal Engine 3 days, and it's now finally releasing later this year, possibly for a December release. It is called Routine. Some of you may have heard of it and made it past the suffering from the March 2017 incident where the original game just never released. But now that Gamescom happened, we finally got some news for this 13 years in development game that will finally be released this year. Even Silksong managed to release before this, which I think is kinda crazy. Anyways, the game has gone through a major overhaul since the announcement back in the peaceful times before the year 2016. And now it has this very liminal space vibe to it. I mean outer space, not, the space. But I'm not gonna lie, I think it works for a game like this. Even the sound design sort of changed, but not too much as it's still perfect. But it has this very nostalgic take that lets you on a nostalgic ride that no one's even experienced yet because, well, you're in space and not many people have been to space. So, as for the character design for the robot monster, I love it. I think it's one of the coolest designs ever. It almost looks very similar to Blank the Animatronic from Five Nights at Candy's. However, this monster actually was made before FNAF was even a thing. So I guess you could say this is the first killer robot in the indie horror game, even though the game hasn't even come out yet. So, what are its mechanics? Well, we know that it has a scanner that it uses to search for the player, and it has this very unsettling grab animation when it successfully catches you. Yes, this machine is a menace. And there's even more of them if you look very closely in the gameplay trailer. The new one, not the old one. So this is the only enemy that we know by now. We could see more enemies in the game, who knows? But I guess we're gonna have to wait and see until the game releases this year. So, what's the story? What could it be about? We actually don't know much about what the game could be about, but from the Steam screenshots, what it shows us, and the description from the Steam page itself, we are apparently trapped on the moon on an abandoned space station, and we need to find a way to escape, and this killer robot is hunting us. That's my guess for what the story's gonna be about. But what do you think it's gonna be about? Now, let's talk about the gameplay and what it could look like. I think it might be more puzzle solving like every indie horror game ever, which isn't a bad thing. I think that's one of the major points of creating indie horror game, or horror game in general. We do see a character carrying a gun that seems to stun a robotic monster, but of course the robot guy has a huge plot armor. So there is a way to fight the evil mean robot guy that wants us off his space station as we are invading its home. But to do this tough as For those who are wondering what the Unreal Engine 3 version of the game looked like, well, it looked like this. It didn't really have much post-processing details like the current version had, but its creepiness factor has definitely increased the last time we saw it. No, not much changes to gameplay have changed, but it looks like the environment might have gotten a few changes along the way. So yeah, that's what the UE3 version looks like. Now, we can't really say what version could be better, but that's something we'll find out once the UE5 version releases. Though, I'm a bit sad we're never going to get to experience the UE3 version of the game. But, other than that, I really hope Routine does really well. It's been in development since 2012, and I think it deserves a ton of attention, as 13 years in development for one game is a very long time. I think people should definitely give it a try. I think we might get the game in December, so it could be a great holiday gift for those who are getting Steam cards this year, or if it's on physical, that is. So just remember, if you do in fact get a Steam card this year for Christmas, there's a game in the Steam store waiting to be bought. And that's this game I just talked about in this entire video. There are also probably two other indie horror games that might release near December. Right now they're both set to releasing the Q4 of 2025, but I do think December 2025 is going to be a peak month for indie horror games to shine. because throughout the rest of the year, the indie horror scene has been pretty dry. Which doesn't matter anymore because 2026 is going to be an epic year for indie horror. Yes, I know this wasn't a longer video, but maybe next time you'll get a longer video. That is it for now. See ya.